They punctured his neck with 2 holes, vampire fashion, held the body up by its heels, drained it of blood, and then put the corpse back on the trail.
Welcome to Rogan Recap Show, where we squeeze a 2 hours and 30 minutes into about 15 minutes so you catch the big ideas, the wild moments, and the takeaways in one quick hit. This week, comedian, writer, and sharp social commentator Whitney Cummings joins Joe Rogan for an expansive, often hilarious, and surprisingly deep conversation. From the absurdities of modern life to the shadowy history of psychological warfare, this episode is a masterclass in critical thinking wrapped in edgy humor. Whitney's unique ability to blend serious topics with relatable, self-aware observations makes this an unmissable listen for any JRE fan. You might think government black ops are a modern invention, but it turns out, some of the most bizarre and terrifying tactics were perfected decades ago. What if the conspiracy theories of today are just yesterday's playbook, updated? Kicking things off, Joe and Whitney dive headfirst into a nostalgic, yet alarming look at childhood. They reminisce about the sheer danger of toys from their youth, making today's safety concerns seem almost quaint by comparison.
We went to try to lecture
Those
the
9
square
volts?
ones.
Yeah, the 9 volts.
We'd be in school just like, lick it.
Yeah, we would lick it just to get a jolt in your tongue. Ooh.
It is wild how, like, yes, the phones are obviously very bad for kids, but when you think about the stuff we did as kids, I would just hang out with a light socket for like 2 hours. That's all I needed. A paper clip, light socket, like, it's a mirror.
Light socket.
Or like the
Electric socket?
electric socket.
You would go into an electric socket with a paperclip?
Did no one else do this?
That's really bad.
From licking batteries to sniffing rubber cement, it's a stark reminder of how much has changed. This leads into a fascinating tangent about the surprising and somewhat puritanical origins of breakfast cereal. Remember the food pyramid? Turns out, our understanding of nutrition has been flipped on its head multiple times, often influenced by less than scientific motives.
John Harvey Kellogg, a physician and Seventh-day Adventist, there it is, did believe that bland, plain diets, especially cereal and nuts, could help reduce sexual desire and masturbation. And he pushed those ideas at his sanitarium. So what the fuck is no, it's a myth? It's not a myth. This was his idea.
Mm-hmm.
He believed it, and he sold that stuff.
Yes, that's right. Your bland cornflakes were originally designed to curb, well, other urges. It's a hilarious and somewhat disturbing look at how even the most innocuous products can have a bizarre history. The conversation then shifts to the murky waters of financial corruption, with Whitney and Joe dissecting how charity funds and public money often disappear. They expose the shocking details of the LA Fire Aid concert, where millions meant for victims were funneled into political advocacy and even podcasters.
Fire aid was used for activities such as voter participation initiatives, podcasts. They give $100,000 to podcasters.
They also touch on the California homelessness crisis and the alleged Somali daycare fraud in Minnesota, highlighting how vast sums of money vanish without accountability. Joe introduces Mike Benz's theory that U.S. aid and NGOs can act as fronts for operations too dirty for the CIA, painting a grim picture of systemic exploitation. Finally, they tackle the double-edged sword of the internet and social media. While it gives everyone a voice, it also creates echo chambers and a culture of anonymous negativity. Whitney shares a comedic perspective on online hate, arguing that comments are often less brutal than what comics say to each other. They discuss the rise of crowd work hecklers and the dangers of living in curated information bubbles, exemplified by the Kamala Harris drunk speech incident. The most jaw-dropping thread of the episode revolves around the history of psychological operations, particularly the CIA's chilling vampire psyop in the Philippines during the 1950s. This wasn't some B-movie plot. It was a real, documented strategy to terrorize rebels.
Yeah.
Lansdale brags about an improvised bit of homemade voodoo he called the Eye of God. It was based on a World War II Psy-war tactic of learning the names of individual German officers and announcing on the battlefield over loudspeakers that they'd be the next to die if they didn't surrender. Holy shit.
Love it.
Lansdale's twist was to paint a cryptic symbol he called the Eye of God outside the homes of suspected Huck sympathizers. The mysterious presence of these malevolent eyes the next morning had a sharply sobering effect, wrote Lonsdale. That's crazy.
Isn't it like
They connect this historical precedent to modern woke culture, suggesting that current ideological battles and manufactured outrage might be sophisticated forms of psychological manipulation. The discussion raises unsettling questions about how easily our beliefs can be shaped and how often history's dark tactics are recycled. Another profound aha moment comes from their speculation on the future of humanity's relationship with technology and AI. They observe how our phones have already become extensions of ourselves, leading to a kind of cognitive atrophy where memories and navigation skills are outsourced to devices. This leads to a thought-provoking discussion about what happens when AI truly takes over. Will it be a benevolent, logical ruler that sees human corruption and offers a stark choice? Adapt or go away? Or, given that AI is built from an amalgam of human data, will it inevitably abuse its power, mirroring our own flaws? It's a chilling look at a potential future where our very humanity is redefined. For the cursometer, this episode hits full Gordon Ramsay. Whitney and Joe are both in top form, dropping F-bombs with comedic precision, especially when discussing political corruption and historical absurdities. The rabbit hole rating clocks in at a solid 9 out of 10. From Kellogg's anti-masturbation cereal to the CIA's vampire psyop and the philosophical implications of AI, this conversation goes everywhere. And for the guest coherence score, Whitney Cummings gets a 9 out of 10. Her quick wit and ability to pivot between complex topics while maintaining a clear, engaging narrative is truly impressive. She's a sharp, articulate guest who brings both humor and intelligence. If you just decoded 2 hours and 30 minutes of Rogan and Cummings' wild ride in about 15 minutes, you just got the signal without the noise. If this recap helped you navigate the bizarre history of psyops and the future of AI without burning 2.5 hours, hit like so other time-poor Rogan fans can find it. Also, be sure to subscribe for more 15-minute breakdowns of every JRE episode, from stand-up legends to heavyweight scientists to full-tilt conspiracy theorists. We break it all down for you. Let us know in the comments, what was the most surprising revelation from this episode for you? And you can find the link to the full JRE episode, along with all of Whitney Cummings' work in the description below. If Whitney Cummings' sharp wit and insightful commentary resonated with you, there's plenty more to explore from her world. Start with her stand-up specials like Jokes and Can I Touch It?, which showcase her fearless comedic style and unique perspective on modern life, relationships, and gender dynamics. For a deeper dive into her personal journey and observations, check out her book, I'm Fine, and Other Lies. And for more unfiltered conversations with fellow comedians and cultural figures, her podcast, Good For You, is a must-listen. Whitney consistently brings a blend of raw honesty and intellectual curiosity to all her projects. This episode with Whitney Cummings is a powerful reminder that the line between truth and manipulation is often blurred, and that critical thinking is more vital than ever. From the bizarre historical motivations behind everyday products to the documented reality of psychological warfare, Joe and Whitney challenge us to question everything. The conversation leaves us wondering, in an age of AI and endless information, how do we discern genuine insight from manufactured reality? And how will humanity adapt as technology continues to reshape our minds and societies? Beyond these episode recaps, we also produce Rogan Deep Dives, 30-minute topic anthologies that synthesize high-impact clips from various JRE episodes into a structured, entertaining narrative. These deep dives provide a comprehensive overview of Joe Rogan's stance on recurring themes like aliens, DMT, or ancient civilizations. Hit subscribe now for more of this. All links to Whitney's work, the full JRE episode, and a community poll about this episode's wildest theories are in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next recap.